guys, welcome to this new video. Today we are going to talk about Kubernetes deployment. What is Kubernetes deployment? Kubernetes deployment is just a workload API that allows us to create stateless pod, right? So if you want to create stateless pod, meaning pod that doesn't require any data to be stored, state that doesn't require any volume, you are going to use stateless pod, right? Those are pod that doesn't require any like persistent volume or persistent volume claim. So you are going to use actually deployment. So the deployment is actually what we use to create stateless application. If you have most of the time, for example, if you look, an application is made of most of the time you have the front end, API, and database. And most of the time you are going to see that the front end and the API are deployed using stateful set because those doesn't require like spatial storage. So stateful set is just something that we use to deploy actually pod, and those are like stateless pod, meaning that pod that does not save any data coming from the customer. For example. So let's go to our Kubernetes cluster. I have a file here called kz.yaml. On this file, it's a deployment file, and actually it's going to deploy 3 applications for us. As you guys can see here, there's no volume. There's no volume that is defined here. We have 0 volume that is defined here, and actually that file is here. So let me go ahead and remove this startup probe so that it doesn't delay our container from moving up. So that's what we are going to deploy here. So I will take this, and basically I'm going to empty this file, give me to that file one more time, then I will paste this content. Then I will say kubectl. If I say kubectl, K stands for kubectl, get pod. We have here this pod running. So let's Kubernetes into our K. Let me change the namespace. Type kubectl get pod. As you guys can see, we have no pod here. I will say kubectl apply -f. Then I'm going to apply our file. Now, if I type again kubectl get pod, you will see that we have this pod that get created, right? We have this pod that get created here, for example. So, and I'm going to record again. You will see that this nginx pod are actually running. So that's called Kubernetes. That's called deployment, right? If I type kubectl and get deploy, you will see that we have a deployment with 3 pods, 1, 2, 3, and 3 of them are ready right now. That's Kubernetes deployment, and these are like stateless pod. There's no volume attached to that. It's not claiming any volume. So the volume that this might use can be either like MTD volume only. So deployment is that's for stateless application. So if you want to like deploy the something that is stateless, something that doesn't require like taking data, storing data from the customer, stateless, you're going to go ahead and use deployment. So that was it about this video. I hope you like it. See you on the next video. Thank you.